you know how many people that like watch this or watch social media where they're like, man, 10 grand, 20 grand a month would change my life. And like, if you could just, like, I always think, like, if I could just take my brain and give it to them for 10 seconds so they could realize like how close they are to that and how, like, it's so attainable. It's so attainable. Like, most of the people that get into this are just trying to do that 10 grand, 20 grand a month. And
Right.
they're just so close. They just need somebody to believe in them.
Welcome to the Real Estate Pros Show, where we interview real estate investing professionals from coast to coast, as well as the service providers that serve the real estate investing industry. Our goal is simple: share what's working now to help you improve and scale your business to the next level and meet the pros that can help you get there. Real Estate Pros is powered by Investor Fuel, America's leader in helping real estate investors and professionals build the business you need to live the life you've always dreamed of. Let's start today's show. Property insurance for real estate investors doesn't have to be difficult, but it does need to be there to protect you when you need it. MyInvestorInsurance.com not only provides insurance at 15 to 30% cheaper than traditional agencies, it's built specifically for real estate investors like you. You can set up an account in about 2 minutes, get quotes on properties, turn on and turn off insurance for your fix and flip or rental properties in around 2 minutes without having to talk to anyone directly, all through our portal. There's no better way or faster way to make sure you've got the coverage you need to protect you, and no more lengthy policies either. Once you're set up, you're billed monthly and prorated by the day for however long your policy is active. It's powered by MSI, the third largest independent MGA, with 1.5 million customers and more than $1 billion in cumulative premiums written. Get set up today in about 2 minutes at myinvestorinsurance.com/fuel.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Real Estate Pros Podcast. I'm your host, Micah Johnson. And today I'm joined by Tony Mont, who's been making some serious moves in real estate investing for the last 5 years now. Tony, welcome in, man. Glad to have you.
Thanks for having me, man. It's nice to meet you. Heard some things about you, and it's good to meet you face to face.
Awesome, man. Glad for you to be here. I'm excited for our talk today. You've got quite a story, but beyond that, the lessons it taught you and things that I've noticed in my own world where there's a lot of value going to come out today, how to make sure you're successful at what you do in real estate. It's not a mystery, it's a process, and I'm excited to dig into it with you.
Mhm.
So, Tony, for those of the listening that aren't familiar with you yet, tell us some more about yourself and what your main focus is right now.
Yeah. I mean, for the last 5 years, I've been wholesaling a lot of real estate. I've owned a lot of rentals. I've done a lot of flips. In the last 3 years, I've been coaching a couple different communities, on how to scale a wholesaling business, how to get into real estate from the ground up and how to scale it. So right now I have a new team. I just moved out to Arizona a year and a half ago, and I got a team that's about 8 months old. And we're a young team, but I got some savages on the team, and I'm coaching them to be the best they can be. And in 8 months, we've done almost 600,000 in assignment fees, and we got another, I think, 290 set to close. So we're gonna hit our goal of over $1 million our first 12 months. And then, this year in particular, hitting that goal of 3 million, which I think with a small team that you can really train and get good, I think 3 million is very doable for us this year.
Love that, man. And it's when, again, it kind of goes back to it. It might be a young team, but when you know how to set it up right, you know how to train them and get them pointed in the right direction. Now everybody's rowing the same way. And
Mhm.
those big goals that, numbers might be silly to someone else. They're not. They become reality because it's that people factor. You get a bunch of folks that really believe, they buy in, understand. You get more out of your lists and leads than most could ever dream because buy-in, it's really that important.
Yeah. Yeah, it is. And it's more than just work and wholesaling too. It's, we pick a weekend every single month, me and my team of, let's pick a Saturday. We're all going to go off-roading or do something fun out here in Arizona. It's usually something I like to do, but I've gotten them to like all this stuff. So we usually go off-roading, but in the summer we'll take the boat out. We'll go wake surfing. Like, we're always doing something together. We work out as a team. We have a lot of events here at our office, and they're fully involved with the events. And I had them up on stage on Friday and kind of went through my team and what they've done so far since they've been here. So
Stop living on an island and join the #1 mastermind in America for professional real estate investors. Investor Fuel is a community of hundreds of the nation's top investors working together to build stronger businesses and better lives. In addition to the amazing community of real estate investors acting as a board of advisors for one another, Investor Fuel members have access to 100% funding on purchase and repairs for our members only, a health insurance program, and benefits and discounts that more than pays for the membership of most of our members, meaning it's actually costing you money to not be a member of Investor Fuel. If you're looking to scale your business and build a business that allows you to live the life of your dreams, please visit investorfuel.com today and book a call with our team.
they they don't feel like nobody calls me their boss. It's like, hey, Tony's the leader of this thing, but we all work together, we're all on a team, and it really feels that way. And when they feel that way and you really pour into them, and I treat my team like I treat my community, which is just like, how can I be their best coach? And once I had that mind shift with this team of, I'm just their coach, I'm just their leader, I'm their mentor, so let me take these guys and gals individually and make them the best they can be. It doesn't feel like you're at work. Like we're all in here doing the same stuff on the floor, on the sales floor, just with this, this goal in mind. So it's been a great team to build in this short time, but I got some solid people on the team.
Man, that's awesome. And it's doing the two things that a good company has to do. One, you're paying their financial paycheck, but even more important, it's the emotional one. It's the emotional paycheck. People will only make a lot of money for so long before whatever they're doing will drive them so crazy. It just doesn't matter anymore. I just don't care. You can't pay me enough to do this. How often have you heard someone say that? That's a
I've been
real
there.
thing. Right? You literally can't. And that buy-in is so important. And that emotional paycheck it's what rides the wave of life with you, because real life's happening to all of us. I love the fact that y'all get out and do things. And the fact that you say team. Now I'm not trying to split hairs with folks, but I don't like it when someone calls work a family. Right? Not everybody comes from a great family. That word doesn't mean the same thing to everybody. So what does it mean? You're just not going to call me anymore? And you only yell at me when I did, like, what do you really mean by that when you say that? However, growing up in sports, teams you had to buy into, you had responsibility on, you had to show up, you didn't do your part, things went wrong. And everybody looked at you and said, hey, we're not here to beat you up, but what you doing? What's going on over there, bud? Like, that's your job. Why aren't you doing that? And throughout my career, that's something I look for. And when I like to work with other people is that mindset, because it doesn't take responsibility off of anybody. It puts the correct responsibility on the right positions. And it really, in my opinion, makes it easier to buy in, right? When I'm buying in with a team, let's go. What are we doing? Like, y'all, where are we going? And that leads way more into folks that actually want to hang out with each other, right? You think about sports teams, different things. They're all golfing together. They're all doing the stuff they like to do together, off-roading. And that environment, I get hyped up, man. So
No,
that's what
love
I'm
it.
for. I want people, you mentioned coaching and that you work with others. That's a message I really believe needs to get out there to different people starting companies, where it matters. Making people a lot of money is awesome and it's great, but fulfilling their life across that board where that money's actually doing what you're trying to do. We all want freedom. It looks different to each of us, but deep in my heart, I believe we're all after the same thing. We're just equipped to do it in different positions, right? Not everybody's a hand or a foot. We all do different stuff.
Yeah, I think for the team and also the coaching community, it's like, imagine if all we talked about as coaches, or all I talked about as a leader of this team was, the bottom line and how much we're going to make this month. It's like, it's a never ending battle. If it's more and more and more money talk every single month, or, how much more money can you make? I mean, that's a race to misery. It's like, hey, how can we, do both? How can we work more efficiently? Maybe not have to work harder or longer hours. How do we work more efficiently to make more money? How do we get really good at what we do? And there's this fine line of scaling a business where it's like, hey, if I can make this amount of money and my life is very balanced where I can come into work and grind and do a great job and love what I do with my team and then go home.
If you're looking for consistent, high-quality leads, look no further than Investor Machine. Investor Machine isn't just another agency, it's the most sophisticated, data-driven lead generation company on the planet for real estate investors, and serves the role of being not just a lead generator for your business, but a marketing partner that is helping you achieve your goals along the way. Go to investormachine.com to learn more and schedule a call with our team today.
And be that great dad or husband or boyfriend or friend or whatever it is, and then have my fitness in line, my mental health in line. Like if we're balanced in all those aspects of life, making a certain amount where we're financially stable, it's like, is it worth it to have one of those out of whack where we're not balanced and we're not aligned for double the money? Because the money ain't going to make you happy. It's going to make you're going to be miserable. So for
Right.
me, it's not like that shiny dollar amount. I mean, we have goals because we have something to strive for, but if we don't hit 3 million this year because it's like my time is not aligned, my balance isn't aligned, or my core values get screwed up, like then we're not going to hit it. That's okay. It's like, how can we get to this next point with keeping our values in line and keeping our life balance where we have enough time and energy for everything? I think that's the most important, people that don't have money think that money is going to save them. In a lot of
Mm.
ways it does, but in a lot of ways it doesn't. And I tell people this all the time where at least they have that hope. Like when you're dead broke and you're miserable, you have hope that one day when this amount's in your bank account, you're going to be happy. And when you get there and you're not happy, that's the first area of growth. That's the first time you really start thinking like, dang, I need help. I need to figure out where my core values are. Where do I align? What makes me happy? What makes me fulfilled? Because that hope's gone now. And you have the money and you're still miserable. That's a horrible place to be. So you
Right.
got to find people that have been there before that can mentor you or guide you in the right direction. And like, that's what I've done in my life when I hit those points when, I've owned businesses for 17, 18 years. So I've been making money for a while, but I remember the first couple big months I had, and then the big year I had way back when, I was like, man, I'm still kind of miserable. What's missing in
Yep.
my life? And that's really where the growth happened. And it you can find that, or you can find that person you align with earlier before that happens, and it's a lot better. It makes for a better life.
Now, if you don't mind sharing for someone that's listening or watching in that might be in that same place, what did you find was missing when you went to look?
It was a purpose, like I did some time in jail. I faced life in prison at a young age. And when I got out of all that trouble and got off of probation, I found myself miserable. And I ended up moving across the country to California. I started my first business out there in 2008. And within a few years, I was making good money. And then I lost all of it, and then I made some of it. It wasn't until later in my life where I was like, man, I've been on this roller coaster of making millions, losing millions, making millions. And I'm like, I'm miserable all the time. So what's missing? And my coach told me, he's like, well, your purpose is not to just make money and sell things. He's like, you need to find whatever that is. And that's when I started helping people. I think like that week when he told me that, I did my first like coaching Zoom call, and
Mhm.
I started helping people, and I've never stopped. And that is where I found helping other people get to where they want to be financially, spiritually, mentally, everything like that. That's what brings me the most fulfillment. It's something I know I'll do for the rest of my life. I don't know if I'll wholesale real estate for the rest of my life, but I know I'll help people for the rest of my life because that's what fulfills me the most, is helping other people.
Which, man, you dial that back and look at what's really happening in a real wholesale deal. And unless you do them and you see them from the outside, we see the checks people make usually online. But what nobody hears is 99% of the deals you're buying, life has hurt the person you're buying that house from. Distressed seller is an understatement, and we get way too used to it. Way too used to it. Something I used to try to remind folks, don't forget it's a human being.
If you're a new or newer real estate investor looking to launch or grow your real estate investing business, please check out Investor Fuel Club. It's a coaching community, but unlike anything you've ever seen before. And you can actually partner with members of our mastermind from coast to coast on deals right in your market. There's no better opportunity to build a consistent business than to literally partner with pros to help you avoid costly mistakes, avoid the need for capital to do deals, and help you eliminate your fears as you're starting your business. Learn more about Investor Fuel Club at investorfuel.com/club.
Don't forget, it's not just a math problem when it comes to single family. That is a human being on the other side of that deal, and life ain't treating them well. That's where we get to come in. And when you get good at it, they're thanking you for how much money you just made because you actually helped them. And it's not surprising, man, when I meet people that go through a traumatic past, have really seen what hard looks like the real kind of hard, stared it straight in the face. I've never met one of them that came back and didn't tell other people about it, that didn't show them some sort of way. There's something about seeing the real thing. It just like, boom, it cuts through all the bullshit. You see like, whoa, you see. And it's powerful to me, man. I love interacting with people that have seen it because it gets by all the noise that we hear all the time, which was something we were talking about a little bit in pre-recording. Was there's just so much noise, especially in the real estate world, of what's really going on. How many courses you can watch, this and free videos, that. And it's like, I do some research on the person behind the video. What's driving them? Do they actually care if you're successful, or do they care if you buy a course? Like, really, which one is it? Because one's going to make sure that you actually get where you're going. And one, it's maybe you do, maybe you don't. I'm not going to say you won't, because it really depends on you. You're still alone. How has that bled over in what you do in the real estate world? Even heck, man, probably even in the training in your own company.
Yeah, I mean, it's huge. Like, just aligning with that person that is going to teach you too on all aspects of life. Like, I was on a call earlier today where, two young guys did 575 grand their first 12 months. And I mean, they're half my age. And I'm like, kudos to you guys, but they're in a coaching program that, hasn't really taught them how to be profitable, and they barely made any money in their first year with doing that much in assignment fees. And I started asking questions, what was missing in this community, and the number one thing they said was, they go, well, what has us on this call with you is because you're fit, you're positive on your social media, we know you're doing deals, we know you have a wholesale company, you're not just a coach, and you give good information, but we like your lifestyle, we like your message. And that is like super important for most people. It's like, how do you align with this person? I mean, there's people out there that can teach you wholesaling besides myself, for sure, but are they gonna align with everything you align with? Are they gonna, teach you how to build a real business, or are they just gonna teach you how to do some deals? So
Right.
you need to look at everything. It's not just wholesaling. It's everything. Like, how many of these people that are coaches, even have a team, or are wholesaling themselves, or how many of them built multiple businesses? Is this the only one they've ever done? How long have they been doing it? Like, I've been a business owner long enough, and I've lost money enough like, I think that's a requirement, right? Like, you got to make money, lose money, and make it again to really
Yeah.
value. And something you said earlier about hitting that rock bottom, like, not everybody can relate to somebody that, like myself, that was a drug addict that faced life in prison. And I mean, that's heavy, but everybody's been through adversity, and everybody's rock bottom feels the same as everybody else's. Like, I don't know, some people could have lost a parent or a pet, or done, lost a job, and they felt just as horrible as I did when I was going through my rock bottom. But when you do hit that rock bottom, it's such a blessing, because you wake up every day without a decision to make. Like, there is no decisions. You have nowhere to
Mm.
go. Like, the only decision is, well, I have nothing. I am nothing. I got to start rebuilding from ground zero. So the only way is up. Let me just continue to keep working every day. And that was what I did. And, here we are 20 something years later after I got out of jail. And, it's served me well, just waking up every day with no decisions to be made, just move forward.
Right. Right. I agree, man. And for folks out there, I got a bizarre, traumatic story as well. And I want people to know you don't need one. You
Mm,
don't like it's mostly because I'm a hard-headed son of a gun is why the lesson had to be so hard. That's what I've come to learn. Like life, it gave me plenty of off ramps. It gave me plenty of them, and I didn't take them. Right. I'm the
mhm,
one that had to hit that wall. And so wherever you are, really the skill is how fast can you notice that's what's happening? Because you
mhm,
nailed on a few things there. I want to touch back on those two guys you've been talking to, right? They've done 575 so far in their business, right? And that's amazing. The issue is that's a ceiling, and they've got their floors so far away. Like you we get so focused on where am I trying to get to up here, and that's what life showed me through all that is leave that alone. We all want to go as big as we can. I get it. So don't worry about it. How do you raise that floor? Right? It's
mhm,
way easier to fall off a curb than a canyon. How
mhm,
are you raising that floor? Because after going through enough rebuilds, it was like, okay, I'm sick of this. I'm literally sick of rebuilding this thing over and over and over again. So how do I do it in a way where I don't lose everything when life gets hard? Because it's always going to do it. Life cycles. That's what it shows. I'm big in journaling. That's like a few years right here written down where it's, I want to know. And that's what showed me it's me. And then
mhm.
showed me who are you talking to, right? The mentor I have now, the coaches I've worked with in the past, it's all now to show me what I can't see. I've learned enough. I don't need to learn it on my own anymore.
Yeah.
The degree is terrible to have. I don't want it on my wall. Like,
Mhm.
what can you show me? And that's really been that level up in my own life is then when you can, whatever it is life's trying to teach you, hard is an opportunity. Everything we want's on the other side of it. If you can get to that mindset, understanding what it's for.
Yeah. Well, I think, anybody can work harder and make more money. Like that's like you don't need a coach to tell you that. Like make more money, work harder, work more hours, work more days. Like anybody can do that, right? It's how am I more efficient and keep that happiness and that purpose. And that's where a good mentor or coach will come in and be like, hey, anybody could hop on a call and say, hey, you just need to work more. But it takes somebody that's been through all of that and had those lessons to where they can say, hey, like these are the small tweaks you need to make. Like even with these two guys earlier today, I'm just looking at their business from a bird's eye view, but I'm like, man, you guys have maybe 5 things to tweak and you're gonna do $1 million this year and probably make 500,000 net. Like just with these tweaks, because I've just seen so many wholesale businesses and know
Right.
what they need work with. And I'm like, without ever spending another dollar on marketing, and doing the same amount of work, I'm like, there's just these little tweaks. And I think that is a big lesson for people. It's like, it's not usually burn this thing to the ground and rebuild it when you're doing something. It's usually small tweaks along the way. The money's just sitting there. You need somebody else to help you find it. And people that are just getting started and actually doing the work. It's like, man, you like if everybody knew how close they were to just
Mm,
like making a living doing this, because and we get so distracted with, people doing 6-figure deals and $1 million months and all this noise out there. You know how many people that like watch this or watch social media where they're like, man, 10 grand, 20 grand a month would change my life. And like, if you could just, like, I always think, like, if I could just take my brain and give it to them for 10 seconds so they could realize like how close they are to that and how like it's so attainable. It's so attainable. Like most of the people that get into this are just trying to do that 10 grand, 20 grand a month. And
right. Right.
they're just so close. They just need somebody to believe in them. And we talked about it earlier where it's like a lot of successful people have been through adversity. A lot of successful people, successful coaches have been through adversity. It's because they believe in themselves so they can instill that in somebody that might not believe in themselves right now. It's like, no, if I can come from like lower than you are right now, I can get you to where you need to be. Like, even if it is 10 or 20 grand a month, like, it's just like, that's the important part. We talk about numbers all day long, but most people just need to make a living.
That's it, man. And it's funny because the reality is the number one investor out there is just a mom and pop investor. They're only doing a little bit at a time. The amount
Mm,
that actually turned this into a business is it's the niche of a niche of a niche. Like, there is not that many people that do scaled up real estate investing. There's just not. There's just, if you really study it. Now, when you wander around in our world, everybody does it because it's like that's, everybody that does it. But the reality is that's not normal. But if you go dive into their books, what you're going to see is that singles and doubles over and over and over again, 10 grand, 15 grand, 10 grand, 15 grand. And then they hit the 100K, 200. Then you hit home runs when you learn how to hit singles and doubles.
mhm,
It's a machine that you're building that trades in real estate. It's not hope. And that's where you can look at their machine and be like, you just need a little tune up here, fellas. What if we did this? And what if we did this and this and this and this? And boom, now it's running. You're not hiccuping. You got all 8 cylinders going in the right direction now.
mhm,
And it's that. My dad always said growing up, it's hard to read your label from inside the bottle. And having
mhm,
somebody to just look at it from the outside, even give you that validation like you're talking about. There is a point in life where you don't need it anymore. I firmly believe where you are self-validated person. However, there's an early point, especially for men, I'll say it out loud, where you need to hear another man's opinion that you respect say, "Hey, good job. Good job.
yeah,
That's good. You're doing good. That's a good job." Because it's for them. Like you build on it. And all of a sudden, when you accomplish that, let's say you're in that phase where you're building back, you're finally learning that lesson and you're building back never to go away again, that you feel like a different human being when you do it that time. It does not feel like the old you. Chaos ain't driving you. Stability is. And that came from my world, somebody doing that for me. Hey, good job. Good job. Little tweak here, little tweak there. What do you actually want in life? Micah, you can always do more. What are you trying to get closer to? Like,
mhm.
don't think in terms of more and like all those little adjustments where it's like, whoa, I actually enjoy my life now. I like doing what I wake up each day and I enjoy what I'm doing. I really don't care what day it is. Like, holy cow, it's about being that now. There's not like a there to get to. It's just like,
Mhm.
anyways, I could go on and on, man, because
Oh,
that's what gets me pumped. Because it's why Jim Carrey's one of my favorite people. This is his little statue I had made of him right here. But he has that quote, and I really took it to heart where he said, I wish everybody could become rich and famous so they'd figure out that wasn't it.
mhm. It's so
And
true.
it's like, especially if you grew up not with it much. I came from the not much and had the idea that money was just going to fix everything. And it took me a few times to understand that not the case. Not the case at all. I needed to get better at being human before the money was going to stick around. And
Yep,
that's kind of what I fell in love with was if you want to be a good human being, get good at being human. There's a
yeah.
skill set to it. Business teaches you how to be a good husband. Husband teaches you how to be a good father. All these things bounce to themselves if you'll realize that, whoa, it's the same human behind it all. I'm just playing different roles. How do I actually do this?
Yeah, it's money is just going to amplify who you are and what you do. So if, you're going out to the bar every night, every weekend, if you're doing, unethical stuff, if you're miserable, money's just going to amplify that times 10. But if you can dial in like being a good human and giving back to others and having empathy and just being good to you, your family, your fitness, your faith, your mental health, everything spiritually, it's like then when you make money it's going to amplify that part of you. And it
Mm,
it did take me that wave when I was younger and I started making money in my late 20s. And I was maybe 5 years off of sitting in a jail cell. And yeah, I still had a lot to learn. And it's like then at 30, it's like I had a life lesson, then at 35, and then at 40. And it's like, it's just going to keep happening, but you got to keep progressing. And I can say, like, now I'm almost 43, but it's like my life, it just keeps getting better every year. It just does because I don't keep my eye off of that prize of just trying to get a little bit better every day. How can I communicate better? How can I be a better leader? Like the book that really changed my leadership was Jocko Willnick's book, Extreme
Mm,
Ownership. And once I like started realizing, oh, everything's my fault, then I started internalizing it like, well, yeah, you keep making excuses. It's this person's fault. It's the market's fault. It's this lead source's fault. It's this person's fault on my team. And then you just look inward and you're like, well, I haven't been growing because I haven't been taking responsibility to what this truly was. And I can change all of these things. It
right.
comes from within. And once you take on that responsibility and you just brainwash yourself to everything's my fault. Like, how can I get this person better if they're struggling? Or how should I have pivoted quicker because of this strategy? Or, this person's mad at me. Like, could I have communicated better with them? Like, they're not just being an asshole. Like, maybe I did communicate wrong with them. So, like, once you turn all that in, even if it's not true, even if it isn't your fault and you've done everything you could, but you look at your life that way, it truly does make you reanalyze everything and get better at everything that you do. So that was a huge life lesson for me. And I'm sure you can. I don't know how old you are, Micah, but I mean, I'm sure
Just
you
turned
can
40.
say, yeah. I mean, at 30, I thought I had this figured. At 35, I thought I had life figured out. At 40, I thought I had it figured out. And I've learned so much in 3 years. It's just,
Right.
but you can't stop. You can't stop growing. You got to keep pushing.
That's something I've been writing about lately is, we are not human beings, we are human becomings. Like,
Mm,
we don't stop until we're dead. Like,
yeah.
until you're dead, you are growing in some way. It's one of the reasons I like real estate. It's always changing. I'm ADHD. I need stuff that goes in motion. Real estate's in motion, baby, and it keeps
Mhm.
me occupied. So it's like, understanding that part about yourself, what you're plugging into. It's shoot, my brain ADHD swelled on me right there. What were we just talking about right before that, man? Like I was
Yeah,
getting
you got
hyped
a
up.
little
I felt
sidetracked.
it going because I got hyped up.
Yeah, I'm the same way. I gotta keep my eye on the prize, but I can relate to that. Like a lot, yeah, and I do work a lot, but man, I love it. It just doesn't. People, and I said grind earlier, but it's none of this is a grind. I mean, I
Right.
I used to swing a hammer for a living. I used to dig ditches for a living. Like I sit in an air conditioned office with a great team, and we lock up contracts, and we listen to music, and we do 3 o'clock recharge here in about a half an hour, where we do a push up contest every day at 3 o'clock.
Nice.
Like, it's just this is, we should be ashamed of ourselves of, like, what we get to do every day and still have our bad days, It's life is so beautiful, man, and, I woke up the other day, um, I was starting to, so we have, events at our office, like, once a month, and, 60 to 100 people come, me and my partner speak, and we teach, and you know, I- we had two this month. And I remember thinking, like, I woke up one day and I was like, man, two events like, I'm not going to have a lot of time off. And I started like feeling bad for myself one morning and like maybe for 30 seconds. And then I kind of snapped out of it. And I was like, what are you talking about? Like, you get to teach people and serve people. Everybody comes up to us and wants to take photos with us and tells us how great we are. I was like, what's so bad about that? And then I wrote on my mirror, I have a dry eraser marker in my bathroom, just like important things on my mirror. So I got to see them every day. And that was one thing I wrote. It's like, you don't have to wait to die to go to heaven. Cause like I really,
Mm,
once I started reflecting, I'm like, imagine myself 20 years ago telling myself like this was what my life would look like today. I wouldn't even be able to fathom that. And it's just a good reminder to kind of check yourself when you're feeling like a wuss and just be like, dude, I am truly blessed. And
right.
doesn't matter how developed you are and how long you've been going through this life and your journey and progressed. We all wake up some days and have that little voice that tells us we're not good enough or whatever it is. It's like you got to check that and realize what we do have and how appreciative we all should be for it.
Right. Well, you were talking about it earlier. of that extreme ownership. And what you just described to me, I believe you can only grow as far as you're willing to be self-honest. Like, that's it. As far as you're willing to be honest with yourself, as far as you're able to grow. And up front, that doesn't feel good. Like, if you're in the early part of that journey, it doesn't feel good. However, like, it's a question I ask myself every day when I get up. Am I willing to accept self-honesty? Am I willing to? Because if I'm not, then I won't. Now tell myself a weird story about the day and who knows what'll happen. But am I willing to? And then that next part kicks in, right? I used to have to ask that question and do things I didn't really enjoy doing. But now I get to do it. And some days I don't necessarily want to, like you're experiencing. But then when I ask myself, am I willing to accept self honesty? You'll get to really cool answers one day, y'all. Like, it's not just I got to do this hard stuff for now. One day you're going to wake up and say, actually, I get to take pictures with a bunch of people today and pour out a really good message and dig in with folks. Holy cow, here we go. I got chill bumps. Like, it
Yeah.
really shifts that mentality because that's the gift of being honest with yourself. It'll lead you out of your darkest times and it'll lead you further into your highest times than you've ever imagined because that's just it. Like, what's actually happening when you can connect with that? Boom. Now we're getting somewhere. You can do whatever the heck you want at that point because now hope ain't a strategy. We got a process.
Yeah, yeah, I love that, man. To leave, something with the audience too. It's like, everybody talks about like discipline and stuff, and you got your, David Goggins out there and all these people, and I think there's like been a negative connotation of discipline lately, just because it's so hard to reach. Like, I'm not gonna. I mean, me personally, I'm not waking up and running 100 miles today. Like, I'm not doing
Right.
that. And it's like, oh, if you don't do that, then you're not a disciplined person. So what I've been saying for the last couple of years about that is like, you don't need to be like overly disciplined for anything. You just need to be consistent. Like, you need
Mm,
a routine that is a good, healthy routine. You need to make money. You need to be a good person. You need to be healthy, but like, you just need a structured routine with every aspect of your life, and you just got to do it every single day. And you're going to wake up 5 years from now, 10, 15, 20 years from now, and you're going to realize, dang, my biggest superpower, my secret to all of this was just being consistent. I just did the same thing every day for the last 20 years, and now look at where I am. Like, it doesn't have to be like overwhelmingly something that is so hard for you to do. It's just like you were saying it earlier, it's just like this little bite-sized day you have. Like, just your schedule, your routine, and just do it every single day. It's like the mom and pops that do $10,000 deals all the time. It's like eventually you're going to build up this huge portfolio, right? It's the same with whatever you do in life. If you just break it down to a daily habit, like, your disciplines of today should be your habits and routine of tomorrow. That's it. That has been my
right.
number one secret to success, is just like robotically doing the same healthy things for a really long time. And it makes for a great life. And, you don't have to overthink this.
I love that, man. That's a great parting message because it's all of us can do that. All of us have the choice to be consistent each day. All of us have the choice to wake up and I call them your activities of daily living. What is it you
Mm.
do today that just moves the ball forward? Promise yourself you'll do it again tomorrow. And we all have that capability. So I appreciate you sharing that. For folks that are listening and watching in that want to find out more about you, follow along what you have going on, man, what's the best way for them to find you?
Yeah, Instagram and YouTube, the Tony Mont. So Mont, the Tony Mont. Put out a reel every single day that's given value, and I do some long form content on YouTube. Just did a bunch of video series with Jerry Norton. I think we have, I mean, overall we probably have 30 videos out there together. We love coaching together on those on that platform. But on YouTube, you'll see videos of me training my team here in office, live calls with my acquisition managers, with sellers on the phone, different dispo strategies and software. Like, you can learn so much for free on both those platforms. And if you do want to reach out to me, there's always a link in the description or a link in my bio where you can fill out a form and get a free call if you need more help than just the free content out there.
Excellent, man. Thank you for sharing that. For those listening and watching in, check our show notes. We're going to have all Tony's links there for you to access. Like I say on this show, when we bring a professional on, it's not random. Y'all, I want people in front of you that are actually doing the business. You cannot learn how to do what you want to do from someone who used to do it, especially real estate. It changes too much. It changes too fast. What marketing worked last year, it ain't working right now. Okay. Like you have to be talking to people and interacting with folks that are actually doing it. So take that opportunity. Go follow Tony. If you want to learn more, even book a call with him, reach out to him. It's that simple. Those are the moves that change our lives, y'all. That consistent action over time. Tony, man, I could keep going forever, brother. I appreciate you being here today. I've had a blast. Keep up the good work, man. Keep up the good work. Thanks again. For all those with us out there, if you got value out of today's episode, please like this episode. Share it with someone else you could think could get value out of it. And if you're not a subscriber yet, please click that button. We appreciate every single one of you that follows along out there with us. We got more conversations coming up with operators just like Tony out there building a real business in the industry. Thanks for being with us. We'll see you on the next episode.
Thanks for joining us for today's Real Estate Pros Show. You can learn more about the amazing benefits of the Investor Fuel Mastermind community, including surrounding yourself with hundreds of other rock stars, 100% financing for your deals, and members-only discounts from vendors you're likely already using that, as a member of Investor Fuel, will save you more than the cost of your membership. Visit investorfuel.com to learn more. If you're interested in joining us as a guest of this show, please visit investorfuel.com/pros to apply. You can also check the show notes for access to free resources, how to get access to world-class lead generation, and much more. Don't forget to subscribe so you never miss another episode. Have a great day. We'll see you on the next show.